Broke college student on spring break, chasing waves along the coast of northern Mexico, stops at a tiny street stall. A man named Carlos is frying fish, golden, crispy, folded into a warm corn tortilla with shredded cabbage and a squeeze of lime. The student eats one, then another, then he begs for the recipe. 9 years later, he opens a restaurant that would eventually sell over 50 million of those tacos. But he didn't invent this dish, so who did? The answer leads you to a thin strip of land dangling off the western edge of North America, Baja California. 800 miles long, never more than 50 miles wide, squeezed between the Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Cortez. This peninsula is technically Mexico, but it evolved in almost total isolation from the mainland. Spanish missionaries came and largely left. Asian trading ships passed through for centuries. Japanese fishermen settled along the coast. And somehow, from all of that, a taco was born. But which city gets the credit? The argument has been going on for decades. Two cities, Ensenada and San Felipe, both claim to be the birthplace of the Baja Fish Taco, and neither is willing to back down. Ensenada makes the stronger case. It is a port city, home to one of the largest fish markets on the entire peninsula, known locally as Mercado Negro, the black market. Not because anything illegal happened there, simply because the stalls were so tightly packed and so dark inside, it felt like stepping into another world. Fishermen would bring their catch off the boats at dawn. By mid-morning, vendors were already frying it. Fast, cheap, and remarkably good. The market formally opened in 1958. And that detail matters, because the style of cooking that defined the Baja Fish Taco, a light, crispy batter, deep-fried white fish, did not come entirely from Mexican tradition. It came, most historians now believe, from Japan. In the early decades of the 20th century, Japanese immigrants arrived in Baja California in significant numbers, drawn by the cold water currents and abundant sea life along the coast. Fishing was their livelihood, and they brought with them a technique that Mexicans had never seen: tempura, a feather-light batter frying at high heat. Whether the local taqueros learned directly from Japanese neighbors or simply watched and adapted, the result was the same. Something entirely new was invented at the intersection of two culinary worlds. The corn tortilla, of course, was already ancient. Indigenous communities along the coast had been wrapping fresh fish in stone-ground corn for centuries. But it was this specific combination, Japanese frying technique, Mexican tortilla, shredded cabbage, lime, a cooling cream sauce, that created the Baja Fish Taco as the world now knows it. Then came San Felipe and the man named Carlos. A young student named Ralph Rubio visited in 1974 during spring break, tasted Carlos' fish tacos, and convinced him to hand over the recipe. Years later, Rubio returned to pay him, but Carlos had already moved. Back to Ensenada, some said. The trail went cold. The story, however, did not. By 1983, Rubio had opened his first restaurant in San Diego, just across the border. The fish taco, once unknown north of Baja, began spreading fast, through California, then across the continent, then around the world. A dish built from a borrowed technique, humble ingredients, and the instincts of fishermen who were simply hungry after a long morning at sea. No single person invented it. No single city owns it. What it is, at its core, is a collision of cultures on a narrow strip of coastline. And that collision produced something that billions of people have eaten since. Follow the history, not just the recipe. More dishes are waiting.